Hello, welcome to this week's episode of NDTV. My name is Corinne Brown, naturopathic doctor, labor doula, mother, and host of today's episode where we're going to chat all about bugs? When I say the word bacteria, what's your initial reaction?
I'll get him. I'll kill him. Get out of here, bacteria.
Bacteria's got a bad rap, y'all, and we're gonna clear that up here today. What if I were to tell you that your body is covered in bacteria inside and out? Don't run to the showers just yet. You'll be really happy about this fact by the end of the show. In fact, we are more bacteria than human. We are outnumbered 10 to 1, so for every one human cell that we have, there are 10 bacteria. They are literally everywhere. They are present on the mucous membranes, which are the wet, warm surfaces of the body, such as the inside of the mouth or the inside of the vagina, for example. They are present on the moist, warm surfaces of the body, such as the armpits or the genital vicinity. And they're also present on the cool, dry surfaces of the body, such as the tip of the nose or the forearms. Literally anywhere that has any exposure to the outside world on your body is lined with bacteria. The body is pretty smart. Maybe they're really useful after all. So number one, we have symbiotic bacteria, and they actually benefit us, and we, providing a home for them, benefit them. So we have a mutually beneficial relationship, or a symbiotic relationship. So we want lots of those bacteria around. The second type of bacteria are called commensal bacteria, and they are just the happy, non-harmful freeloaders. They don't directly benefit us per se, but they help to train our immune system, as we'll get into in a second, and they don't hurt us, so we like having them around too. Third type of bacteria is pathogenic, which means that they are there to cause pathology or illness or disease. So the sum of the bacteria that cover all of the different surfaces of your body we'll call the human bioflora. So where does our bioflora come from? Where do we get this bacteria? Where do we acquire this coating of bugs? Because nature knows that this flora is so beneficial to your health, it's got you hooked up from your first nanosecond on the planet. I know your mother's vagina is probably not at the forefront of your mind, but it should be, because that is the first place that you got coated with bacteria. As the baby passes through the birth canal, which is a mucous membrane and has its own bacterial cultures, those bacterial colonies, or that flora, is transferred to the baby. So once you have the bacteria from your mother's birth canal, then the breast milk that you get has very complex carbohydrates in it called oligosaccharides that the infant gut is actually too immature to digest. It doesn't have the enzymes just yet. But those carbohydrates go to feeding a certain type of bacteria, which is called Bifidobacterium infantis, which is only present in infant guts, and it helps that bug to proliferate and line the gut lining to protect the baby from infection and inflammation. 3, the hygiene hypothesis, which we're going to chat about in a little bit. And 4, our diet. The role that these bacteria play is unbelievable, so listen up, you little bacteria factories. Having a thriving bioflora, so lots of the commensal and symbiotic bacteria lining our entire bodies, is beneficial for our immune system, because then the immune system gets really used to having them around, and it gets really good at picking out who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. The hygiene hypothesis is the concept that says that sterile environments and obsessive cleaning with all the antimicrobial products are actually depriving our immune system of that important training. Think about it like this. If someone stays in their house all day, every day, by themselves, without going out into the world, into society, and having any interpersonal experiences or interactions or relationships, well, then everybody seems bad or scary because they don't know any better. All of a sudden the canvasser knocks on the door and you're calling 911 and the ambulance and the fire department and the Air Force and the Navy and NASA, and everyone comes roaring up to your door, and it's just a girl guide selling you some cookies. There is actually no threat whatsoever, but the immune system completely overreacts because it doesn't know any better and causes inflammation, allergy, and autoimmune disease. Compare that to someone who is regularly out in society, regularly interacts with people, regularly has people come over, friends and family to visit. So if someone comes to her door, she will calmly and confidently, with a healthy curiosity, open it. If the person is wearing a balaclava and has a gun in her face, then she will just whip out her 1-2 left-right combo flying circle ninja kick, and while the intruder is incapacitated, then she will go and call for backup. I'll take the calm, cool ninja babe immune system, please. 2, digestion. Obviously, if 70% of the body's flora is found in the digestive tract, they're going to play a huge role in digestion. Think of the surface of your gut. I do not have a gut. Everyone has a gut. When I say gut, I don't mean like gut. I mean the digestive tract from top to bottom. Ideally, you want it to be completely coated with a nice, healthy layer of the good bacteria. If there are patches of sparse coverage, that gives an open area where a bad bacteria can get in, set up camp, and start building a colony of its own. When the bad bacteria overgrow the good bacteria, that is something called dysbiosis. When the bad bacteria take over and create dysbiosis, especially in the small intestine, you'll see symptoms such as these: bloating and abdominal gas, abdominal pain and cramping, constipation, diarrhea, or alternating between the two, heartburn, nausea, headaches, joint pain, fatigue, and rosacea. So the third way that these bacteria impact our health is through our mood. They are responsible for producing enzymes and certain B vitamins and vitamin K as well, but they also produce neurotransmitters, which communicate with the brain and affect our mood. The main one that the bacteria in the gut produce is called serotonin, and it's responsible for us feeling calm and happy and content. So I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Corinne, you are always telling us how smart our body is and how highly evolved our body is, and yet we're taking huge things like our immune system and our digestion and our mood, and we're putting them in the control of bacteria. It's like taking something massive like our national defense and putting it in the control of ants. Bacteria have the fascinating ability to evolve and adapt literally before our eyes, with attributes such as rapid reproduction cycles, sometimes within 20 minutes, and genetic versatility. They can actually swap genetic information with other bacteria in order to adapt to an acute situation or to environmental conditions. Humans combine genetic information when they create another human. Our genetic code is more rigid, but having bacteria with loosey-goosey genetics as the little robots that are controlling our body and our health gives us a little bit more flexibility to adapt and survive. So we're going to rock and roll through all the different ways that we are harming our gut flora and the ways that we can then counteract that and try to support our gut flora. So here we go. Number 1, C-sections are increasing and breastfeeding is decreasing. So obviously this is taking a toll on the cultivation of the flora, the bioflora on the surface of the skin as well as inside the body. And that's happening right from birth. So the way that we can counteract this one is to just be more aware, and if you're pregnant or planning on having children in the future, just do a little bit more research and be a little bit more committed to a vaginal birth and to breastfeeding, because now you understand another aspect of the benefit, which is the flora. The second way that we are harming our gut flora is with antibiotics. Antibiotics are given when you are sick, you're infected with a bacteria to kill the bacteria, but it's actually killing all of the bacteria, the good, the bad, and the indifferent. What we want to do is avoid using antibiotics and only use them. Of course, there are times where it's absolutely necessary to use them, and in those times do that. But you want to make sure that you're following it up with a round of probiotics, and also to avoid using antibiotics, C and ND. There are lots of alternatives out there that they can use to be just as effective. The third thing that is affecting our gut flora is SAD. Western dietary habits are wreaking havoc on our gut flora. For one, they are completely devoid of fiber, so there is no food for the bacteria. Two, processed packaged foods are full of additives and preservatives that are very damaging to the gut flora. And the third way that we're damaging the flora with the Western diet is that we're actually ingesting antibiotics in our food, in our meats and in our dairy products. So that is obviously killing the bacteria in our gut. How we can reverse this is by cutting out processed and packaged foods entirely. The other way is that we can cook at home and that we can process our foods at home as little as possible. So maybe lightly steaming veggies, or cooking foods in their most whole form. And also the prebiotic food, the fermented food, and the really high fiber foods, complex carbohydrates, those are the ones that are going to feed the gut flora and to help replenish and counteract the effects of the Western diet. The fourth way that we are harming our bioflora is with our cleaning, our antimicrobial, antibacterial, this and that. Regular soap and hot water kills 99% of pathogenic bugs anyways, and it's not toxic to all the other guys. So the way that we can counteract this effect on the gut flora and on the whole bioflora is the hygiene hypothesis, getting dirty. I love the 5-second rule, and dogs and dirt are your friends. We want to give that immune system lots of bacteria to deal with because, as Derek Huff said this week on Dancing with the Stars, repetition is the mother of all skill. Because remember, your ninja babe immune system doesn't know that 1-2 left-right combo knockout move from birth. She needs to train and learn and practice it. Wow, bugs, eh? Who knew? If you learned something here today from this video and you know someone else who might be interested in this information, please spread the naturopathic love and pass this video along. And if you want even more of the free inside scoop from me that I only give to my email list members, you can sign up at www.brownrootswellness.com/signup. Now, go eat some high fiber and fermented foods to love up that bacterial greenhouse you've got going on there. Because remember, if mama ain't healthy, ain't nobody healthy. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on NDTV.